Hey everybody, Joe Vanourney, Cherry, the Geek TV. We are here at the 20th Annual Omaha Film Festival with JULE Campbell, who is the director of a fantastic documentary called Beyond the Gaze. Julie Campbell's Swimsuit Issue is playing at the festival. Welcome to Omaha. It's a fantastic movie. Tell people who is Julie Campbell and what the film is about.
So Julie Campbell is the founding editor of the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Issue. She started it in 1965, and she was the editor for 32 years until 1989. Her final cover was Tyra Banks, who was the first woman of color who appeared on the cover. And the film is about her life and how she was able to work in a 1960s kind of Mad Men, male-dominated work atmosphere and help create one of the most profitable magazine issues in publishing history.
And she's also your mom.
She's my mother-in-law. But mother-in-law's our mom. She's my life mentor.
She sadly passed away, is no longer with us, but she was a very active participant in the making of this movie. Allowed you to interview her and tell her story. When you approached her and said, "I want to tell your story. I want you to put it out there," what was kind of her reaction?
She was like, "Why does anyone want to know anything about me?" She was a very humble woman, and but she also wanted to write a book. And that's why she kept everything. And in the film, like, we've digitized over 10,000 photos from her private collection. And she never got to writing the book. So I think, in her 90s, she gained so much agency through this process, and I did as well. Like, we became closer, and it was really what documentaries to me are about, because, it was great to be able to tell her story. Her story should be told. Women, men, everyone should know, like, how she did it and be inspired by her story.
There are a lot of former Sports Illustrated swimsuit models who appear in the film, and they also are helping promote the film. They love Julie Campbell.
Yes.
She was their mother. She was their protector. Talk about who is in some of the people who are in your film, and why do you think it is that all of these models looked up to her and admire her so much?
So first, it blows me away, but it started with Kathy Ireland, who, lifelong friend with Julie, knew Julie since she was 18. She was the first person who hopped on board. Carol Alt, Paulina Porizkova, Elle MacPherson, Tyra Banks, Stacey Williams, Roshumba Williams, Ashley Richardson, Kim Alexis, Cheryl Tiegs, Christie Brinkley. And I was blown away that these women hopped on board. And, in documentary, you don't pay. Like, they do it out of their heart. And they did it because they are paying it forward, because Julie really helped launch all of their careers. And all of them are amazingly successful businesswomen today. And I think that's really beautiful. They're just not women in bathing suits. These are powerhouse women. And it kills me. They call me all the time. They want to show up to things. Whenever they can, they could be there. And it's really, to me, making a film that elevates women and shows women supporting other women is so beautiful and so important, because sometimes we can beat each other up, we can get jealous, we can get competitive, but we really need to join together and kind of study these women. That's what Julie did. She really lifted up the women she worked with, and that's why they wanted to work with her.
Now, there's people out there in the world that like to paint things with a broad brush, right? And they'll say, "Oh, the Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Issue is exploitative," and it's. But what would Julie Campbell say about that? And what were the models that shot that particular issue? We're not talking. There are some things out there that are exploitative, but they'd all disagree with this.
They would all disagree with it, and a lot of the models even say in the film, "We were not doing this for men. Women wear bathing suits, and it is kind of." That's why it's called Beyond the Gaze. the men that interpret it that way, that they're doing it for them. When we put a bathing suit on, we're doing it for us. It's sorry to tell you guys, but it might not be for you. And so Julie tried to protect the women she worked with. She tried to take out gratuitous photos. She made sure the photographers behaved on set. She got in the way of if they were trying to take a really bad, gratuitous photo, she got in the way, like the doggy pose is mentioned in the film. And so the models loved that and felt safe with her. But, the models never, this wasn't Playboy. They weren't, and that's what the controversy came from. It's like, why is there a woman in a bathing suit in a magazine about sports? And it's a valid controversy that we dive deep into the film. We look at both sides, and it's it's really hard to, it's you could see both sides, and it's a compelling argument on both sides. But in this day and age, when you look at Julie's photos, to me they're works of art, and compared to even what's going on today on Instagram and all over, like these photos were tame, and they're luscious and they're gorgeous, and I can't wait to share them with you all.
I want to talk a little bit. You touched on this a little bit earlier, but I want to talk about all the archival stuff that's in the film, because you got some remarkable photos and video.
Yeah.
You said it was easy. A lot of that was easily accessible because Julie kept a lot of this. How much archival stuff was it? How long did it take to go through all of that? And what's maybe the one or two pieces of archival footage that you found that you're like, yeah, this is my favorite. This is awesome that we have.
Oh my
this.
God! So she kept everything. And I like to tell this story. I don't know if we have time. It's a little bit. So she had this chicken shed in the back of her house. And, I was married to Bruce, her husband, I've known her for 35 years, and nobody was ever allowed in that chicken shed. And I was always like, what is in the chicken shed? And chicken coop, chicken shed. And then finally, when she agreed to do the doc, I got into the chicken coop, and it was like, she kept all these photos, slides, Polaroids, Super 8 in these those foam ice cooler boxes, and there were thousands. So we spent 4 years digitizing. I think we digitized like 5,000. There's still about 20,000 we haven't even gotten to. But what I found that was the most amazing was these Super 8s had not been developed. And when we got them developed, we found original footage of Christie Brinkley and Cheryl Tiegs during their first shoots in the 70s, never before seen footage that's in our film. So everything I have, is never before seen, and it's Julie's work, so it's amazing. I didn't have to deal with like too many rights issues, because the first thing we did was like, who owns this? And if Julie took those shots, then she owned them. So she's got thousands of Polaroids, and these Polaroids are art. They're stunning. And that's also what I'd like to say about Julie is, she was an artist. She studied art. She wanted to be an artist, and she kept her artistic and moral integrity in creating this issue, and you could see it in the work. And she stuck to her guns, and she wouldn't let them create kind of smutty things. She was a very tasteful woman, and that's not what she wanted her name associated with. And I think you see that in the film.
If people aren't here at the Omaha Film Festival and they want to see your film, is there a website that they can go to, or to keep track of festival dates and possible distribution down the road?
So it's julecampbell.com, very easy, or Beyond the Gaze. Just Google it. We're all over social media, and we are in talks for distribution, so it will definitely be seen. There'll be a way to see it at some point. We want to do a theatrical release as well, and hop on board. And at some of the other screenings, some of the models are showing up, and it's been a lot of fun, and I can't wait to share it with you.
What's the biggest takeaway that you hope audiences leave with when they watch your film?
That just you have to really stick to your guns and your own moral compass, and really fight for what you believe in life and in your career, And it's tough because people want to just knock you off of, your confidence, especially when you're doing something that's chancy and not of the norm. And I think that watching Julie's journey and how she did it teaches us all a little bit about doing that. It certainly teaches me as a filmmaker and an artist how to really stay strong within myself, how to have a strong moral core. And I hope people take that away as well. And also, like, the swimsuit issues, my film is not just about women in bikinis.
And also, check your chicken sheds, because you never know what treasures you might find in there. That's the big lesson, right? Well, the film's amazing. It's called Beyond the Gaze, Julie Campbell's Swimsuit Issue. This is Jule Campbell. Thanks so much for chatting with us today on Cherry the Geek TV, and stay tuned to Cherry the Geek TV for more coverage here at the 20th Annual Omaha Film Festival.
Thank you so much.